Hello, welcome back to another Pen Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Today's a great day. I received an AliExpress order that I placed on April 12th. So it took 69 days to finally be delivered to me. And if we look at it, it's a standard China Post. This is the label that the U.S. Post Office uses for delivery. And here's the label that's used for customs or whatever else needs to be done leaving the country. This package has been in transit for 69 days, and the majority of the transit it's spent in China. I'm assuming in a warehouse awaiting air transport to the United States, and here's that tracking that I got from the AliExpress site. So this is a lot of things that I ordered from Bobby. So I'm going to open up the package and we'll go through each of them very quickly like I did with another AliExpress order, and then we'll go into detail in other videos. Yes, I got a lot of stuff in my order from Bobby. My approach is to peruse AliExpress with his store and see what he has that I find interesting. And probably shipping is going to be pretty much a fixed price, so the more I put in there, the shipping is spread out over more items and becomes less of an impact on the delivered cost. And when I buy something, the delivered cost is what I focus on, not necessarily the price of the item. There's been times on eBay where the shipping has been a lot more than the price of the item, and you got to avoid those, at least from my perspective, unless that total cost is within reason. So we're going to start with this pen, which many of you may recognize as a 51A, a Jinhao 51A. I love that acrylic, something a little bit different that I haven't seen before. And this is that 51A with that nib that Bobby has customized, which I have in a number of pens. I've given some away. And it's just incredibly smooth, really fun nib to write with, and I have one of these been inked up for a long time, and it writes first time every time. Pull off the cap and you write immediately after sitting for as much as a month. Next on our list is another Hero 565 in red. I just wanted to get a second one. I enjoy looking at pens from many different aspects, and the price was very reasonable. You know, this is a really girthy hooded nib pen. It has an aerometric filler on it, but it holds a lot of ink, and it has that little metal insert so you know exactly where the nib is when you uncap and write with the pen. The first one of these I tried to use as a daily writer, and it didn't survive, so we'll see if this one does. I had a tendency for the nib to dry out. And sometimes you just got to get a pen that has absolutely no reason for you to get it except you think it looks interesting. This is a Lambda 2 8053. I think that clip is kind of funny. Kind of, I think, representative of a Stipula. But certainly this is not a pen I've ever seen Stipula make. It's a metal pen, but it's not really heavy. You pull off the cap and you see probably the worst section that I've seen in a long time. Extremely small, pretty big step up. It's smooth, but you know, you're probably going to hold it up here. And it has a push-pull converter, so there's a lot of things that may not be my favorite in this pen, but I wanted to look at it. So here's another pen. It's a Hero pen, and I got it because of the nib, and also it's not a design I've seen before. Pull off cap, and it's pretty much a full Fude hooded nib there, which I have in a couple pens and I enjoy, you know, kind of like an ink window. So I didn't unscrew this, but I'm certain it's, it's that Vacuumatic filler. Takes a lot of ink, but may not be some people's favorites. So I love nibs. I think Bobby does some great jobs with nibs. So this is a number 6, and which he ground to a Naganari Togi shape, which is kind of like in the Architect family. I have one of these in a 323, and I just enjoy writing with it quite a bit. So I wanted to back up one, or one that I might put in another pen. And I have had this nib. He calls it the monster nib. It could be the Arabic nib. And I just wanted one a little bit narrower. The one I have now is about twice that big. So this is the 1mm one. And that nib worked very, very well. So I'm looking forward to this one. I've had not any success with buying an actual glass nib pen because they break, they roll off, they fall off, I drop them. So these inserts I find to work very well. It's still a dip pen, but you can put it in any body. I'll check to see what those threads are. I'm hoping they're Moonman threads. And I have a number of 601s that some of them are these pump fillers, and some of them are Vacuumatics. And yes, I got both of these now. So one of the things I'll do is see if you can take out the Vacuumatic and put in this pump filler, because I think that would be interesting to do. And I'm not a fan. I like the pump filler much better than the Vacuumatic. So this Bobby advertised as a pliers to pull a nib out. Not exactly the form factor I expected. Certainly an interesting pocket tool. Feels substantial in the hand, and it's a design that I've never seen before, but then this is not something that I spend a lot of time with. I mean, with a lot of effort, you can turn the handle and make the pliers functional. And in working with this, I had to be careful not to pinch myself, but it's extremely sturdily made, and you can see it works as pliers. I wouldn't exactly use those on a nib because of the grooves in there. You'd want a smooth surface, or, you know, maybe I'll take one of my rubber sacks and squeeze it over there so it's rubber on rubber. But you have your standard, you know, screwdrivers, knife blades, you know, certain bottle opener in there somewhere. So it's an interesting design, but not exactly what I expected. But for a few dollars, I'm willing to try it, and it comes with this nice nylon sack. So last but not least is this Kaco pen. Kaco's been around for a while. I've looked at a few of their models, and I've been fairly happy with them. This one caught my eye because it's made for the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, or inspired by. Maybe they sell this in the museum shop, I'm not certain. After further examination of this package, I see the reference to what the design is. Acanthus wallpaper. So that's interesting. If we scroll back over to this side, we'll find it looks like a nice identification there. Something I haven't seen before with China Good Design and a Red Dot 2018 award winner. So certainly looks like this was made for the Victor and Albert Museum. Interesting. As you look at the pen, it's a classic Kaco design. You know, the pattern here, I'm assuming, goes something with what's in the museum, matches the box. You know, we have the V&A here, William Morris. Just a plastic clip that's injection molded with the cap, from what I can tell. Pull-off cap, which Kaco is known for, and we see a similar section we've seen before, number 5 nib that says Germany on it. They make reference to Schmidt. I'm not certain whether that's a correct reference or not. An F for fine, but an EF on the nib, so I'm not certain about that. You unscrew and you just see your regular standard converter. I looked at that metal piece there and wondered what it was, and I think it's just there for support when the converter is inserted and taken out. So that's the overview. Hopefully you found this interesting. Hopefully this was worth my 69-day wait. I certainly think so. And it's just adding to my enjoyment, my understanding, you know, of the Chinese pen industry and all the different things that they do and all the different things that I enjoy that they do. So look forward to some more in-depth reviews on some of these pens. I'm not going to say all of them because I may not warrant a review. And I make that decision. There's a number of pens I've purchased that I hope to be able to review and decided not to for various reasons, sometimes because they just weren't worth my time to do that. So may you have a wonderful pen experience in your life and enjoy the pens that you have, and maybe think about the pens that you don't have. Enjoy putting ink on paper, enjoy writing letters, doodling, drawing, journaling, whatever floats your boat. Stay safe, stay healthy, and most especially stay happy. Thank you for watching. We've reached the end. Bye.